Okay, hello, good evening, guys. Happy Thursday. All right, this is our February week 4. All right, it feels weird seeing y'all on Thursday. Okay, yes, hello everyone. So I guess this is not a very prime time for lessons lah, so that's why the people will be a bit less today. Okay, anyway, so where were we? I think we were in page 6. Okay, so we were in page 6. Today there's not really much to learn. Okay, what have we learned last week, by the way? We have learned all the lung diseases, okay, and the stuff that is not good for your lungs. All right, a little bit of a K-Bud stuff, okay, not really a very heavy study, heavy memorizing part. Okay, the only thing you need to know is if you really want to memorize would be if you absorb carbon monoxide, it's going to form carboxyhemoglobin in your body, which is a very stable compound, and your body cannot carry oxygen. Okay, then that wouldn't be good news. All right, so what are we learning today? Okay, today it will be a little bit funny because we are learning about other animals, which is our frog, our fish, and our insect. How do their respiratory system work? Okay, so before you freak out, this is a very easy part because you are not learning into detail every structure of them. We are just learning their characteristic. Okay, so if you still remember our alveolus, okay, if you go back to page 3, okay, I did ask you to memorize this part, isn't it? Okay, our alveolus has 4 characteristics. Okay, what are they? These characteristics make our alveolus very efficient for gaseous exchange. They are very good in gaseous exchange. Your alveolus, each and one of them, every one of them, they are very good in exchanging gas because of these 4 characteristics. Okay, so number 1, they are very thin. Okay, they are 1 cell thick. Okay, so tebal satu cell, they are very thin. They are moist. Okay, lembab. They have large surface area, very luas. And of course, they are surrounded by a network of capillaries. Because of these 4 characteristics, it makes them very efficient in gaseous exchange. Okay, it makes them really good in exchanging gas. All right, so the 4 characteristics are thin, moist, surface area, and capillary. So why do we need to memorize these 4? Because when we come to what we learned today, okay, we are basically learning the same thing. Okay, so let's look at adaptation in respiratory system. So 3 features to ensure efficient gaseous exchange. What makes 3 of them, which is your frog, your fish, and your insect, what makes them exchange gas very well like us? Okay, they have the same characteristic. Number 1, they are moist, you see? Okay, they are moist. Okay, lembab. Number 2, they have thin structure like us, 1 cell thick, and they have large surface area. All right, so where's one missing one? Sir, I thought there's 4. Yes, there's one more. It's actually blood capillary, surrounded by a network of blood capillary. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This blood capillary, you want to put it here, can, no problem. Okay, there's actually 4. But what happened to this blood capillary? Why didn't this note write blood capillary? Because you see, do frogs have blood capillary? Yes, they do. Do fishes have blood capillaries? Yes, they do. But do insects have blood capillary? No, they don't. Okay, if you whack a cockroach dead, you whack a mosquito dead, you wouldn't see any blood. I mean, unless the mosquito has your blood, there isn't any blood there. So this is why they didn't include this blood capillary here, because it doesn't apply to insect. Okay, so insects, they don't use blood to carry oxygen. They are a little bit different from us. Okay, so if you still remember our human structure, okay, we absorb oxygen, and the hemoglobin will carry the oxygen to our body cells. So insects, they don't work the same way. Okay. Yes, Irish, hello. How are you doing? Anyway, so we are on page 6. Okay, page 6. Okay, so these 3 features, which is our moist, thin, and large surface area, it applies for other animals as well. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Because many people thought that it's gonna be 7. I don't know. I don't know why it's a class 650, which makes it a little bit weird, because many people thought that it's gonna be in at 7. All right. Anyway, so let's look at our frog first. Okay, let's look at our frog first. Okay, so how do frogs breathe? Frogs, as you know, they are amphibians. So they have two breathing organs. Number one is going to be their lungs. Number two is going to be their skin. Okay, so the lung is not really our concern. Our focus will be the skin because this is the fascinating one. All right, so as you can see, people are coming in. Okay, yes, hello Dylan. Anyway, so let's look at frogs. Amphibians like frogs breathe through moist skin and lungs. All right, so the outer skin, the outer skin has all these characteristics. Number one, they are thin. Okay, same as us human, our alveolus. They are moist. Okay, because they're covered in mucus. If you touch a frog, they are always wet, and then they have a network of capillary. Okay, like us. Okay, you might say, sir, no large surface area, man. Because you see, a frog's skin is not really that large surface area compared to our alveolus. If you want, you can write it here again, no matter. But is it really large? Not really. What is permeable, Wei Chen? Okay, permeable means can go through. Can go through. Like if you splash water on my clothes, the water can go through into my skin. That means it's permeable. Okay, in BM it's called telap. Okay, TELAP. In Mandarin, it's called 渗透. Okay, 可以渗透, can go through. All right, so as you can see, frogs. Okay, you might say, sir, frogs are so unfair lah. We have one organ, they have two. They have lungs and they have skin. They can breathe on land and in water. Okay, here's the thing. It's actually very fair. You see, our lungs work very well on land. Okay, whereas the fish, the gills of a fish, they work very well in water. Whereas for frogs, yes, I know they have two organs. They have the lungs and they have their skin, but it's kind of like half-half. Okay, rather than their lungs being very good on land, their lungs are only okay on land. Okay, and their skin compared to gills, gills are very good in breathing underwater, but their skin is only okay. That means we humans, we are very good breathing on land. Fish, they are very good breathing in water, whereas frogs they are only okay at both. Okay, they are okay breathing on land and they are okay breathing in water. That means they are not very active. That's why you see a frog, do you see them jumping around for no reason? No, they just sit around there because their lungs are not very good to support them. If they keep jumping around, they are going to run out of gas. They are going to run out of air. They will die because of suffocation. I'm not joking. This is why frogs for no reason, they won't jump around. They just kind of sit there. They just kind of chill there. Okay, because their lungs are not as efficient as ours. Okay, so they very new. Yeah, exactly. All right, so my point here today is all gaseous exchange in whatever animal, they have all these four characteristics, like our alveolus. Okay, they are moist, they are thin, they have large surface area, they have blood capillary. Okay, same as your frog. Okay, so if you look at a fish, okay, fish, they use gills. In BM it's called insang, by the way. This is kulit lembab. Sorry, I didn't translate this. So gills can absorb oxygen dissolved in the water. So what makes gills different from our alveolus, our lungs? Lungs can only absorb air, oxygen in the air. Whereas gills, they can only absorb oxygen dissolved in water. So they kind of work different way. That's why gills can only work in water, lungs can only work on land. Okay, not the other way. So each gill consists of fine filaments that have many tiny, thin and flat projection known as lamella. Okay, what is this? Okay, if you look at a gill, have you seen a gill before? Okay, if you haven't, next time go to your wet market with your mom and see how they gut the fish. Okay, how do they get the gills out? Okay, when you look at a gill, okay, they kind of look like a tree. So we have all these tiny filaments, and on these filaments, you can kind of see like hair there. Okay, all these things that looks like hair. These hair are what we call lamella. Okay, lamella. They have millions of it. You might say, why do they need so many? Same like our alveolus lah. This lamella is sort of like our alveolus. We have alveolus. Fishes have lamella. They kind of work the same way. Why do we have so many alveolus? To increase surface area, isn't it? So why do they have so many lamella? The same reason. Okay, so as you can see, they have large surface area, okay, because they have many lamella. Okay, same as us. And then they are thin. The lamella is very small, like hair, so they are very thin. So enable gas to diffuse fast. and they have blood capillary. As you can see, gills are fully red in color because they are filled with blood. All right, so you might say, sir, why is there only 3? Why is there no moist? I mean, you can write moist here lah, because gills are already moist. Fishes are already moist. Hello, they are in water. How can they not be moist? They are wet, in fact. Okay, so there are 4 characteristics here also. Okay, if you want to add a moist here, okay, same as here. If you want to add surface area here, can also. Okay, so my point here in this page, this whole page is the 4 characteristics of other animals. They are the same as us. Okay, moist, thin, surface area, capillary. They are the same. Okay, yes, structurally we are not the same. We and grasshoppers, we are not the same. We and what else? Fishes, whatever you name it, we are not the same. But the basic principle is the same. Okay, we have these 4 characteristics to help us absorb gas very easily. Okay, I hope you get what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so next, what is a tracheal system? Okay, tracheal system, they exist in insects. Okay, serangga, this is called system trachea. Okay, I'm sure you have seen this word. Hey, sir, trachea, why is it so familiar? Because you see, in our humans, we have a trachea. All right, you know this. So the main pipe going down, it's called a windpipe, okay, for people who don't learn science. So windpipe is the trachea. So same thing as insects, okay, they use something called tracheal system because they have trachea too. Okay, they have trachea too. Is lamella the capillary? No. Lamella is the alveolus. The lamella is there to do gaseous exchange. Can you see? Okay, the oxygenated blood will, the oxygen will go into the blood and become oxygenated blood. Okay, so anyway, so if you look at insects, their structure kind of look like this. Okay, by the way, insects, we breathe using our nose. We have 2 holes in front of our head, which is our nostril. Insects, they are different. Okay, insects, their holes are not in front of the head. In fact, they're at the side of the abdomen, which is here. Okay, so these holes are called spiracle. Spiracle are the air holes. Okay, for the air to go into their trachea. So this is why insects, they're kind of different. So if you manage to catch an insect, for example, a cockroach, okay, if you dip a cockroach head, just the head in the water, they are not going to die because they don't breathe using their head. So you're not going to suffocate them. If you really want to suffocate an insect, you have to submerge the whole insect into water because the holes are here. The spiracles are here. All insects are like that. Okay, most lah. Okay, so if you look at a grasshopper, they don't breathe using in front. Their holes are all at the side of the body. Okay, so they have trachea. So no, not the butt. Okay, why would they breathe through the butt? Okay, anyway, so you see, they don't have, okay, yes, they have trachea. How about spider? Spider is not an insect though. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, you see, if you ask me, sir, what about scorpion? What about spider? What about this? What about that? I don't know. Okay, I don't know, because you see, there are millions of species to study. I'm not some kind of species expert. Okay, let me just tell you something. Do you know who's an anthropologist? Anthropologists are scientists who just study monkeys. Monkeys, you ask them all about monkeys, orangutan, chimpanzee, they know. Okay, anthropologists. If you ask them spiders, they will tell you, oh, this is not my expertise. I also don't know. Yeah, okay. Hey, they spend 20, 30, 40 years just to study apes. Not even joking. To study their behavior, to study their physiology, to study their everything. Okay, so yeah, what is a filament? Filament is the main branch. Okay, think of it this way. Filament is the branch. Lamella is the leaf. You know a tree? A tree has branches, right? The branch is the filament. And then the lamella is the tree leaf. The daun. Okay, the batang at the daun. Different, right? Can batang do gaseous exchange? Can the branch do gaseous exchange? No, gaseous exchange only done by the leaf, by the daun. Can you understand? Okay, anyway, so trachea here, as you see, okay, they are a little bit different from us. We have trachea, and then we go into bronchus and bronchiole, isn't it? But insects, they don't do this. Okay, insects, they will go from trachea straight into tracheole. So what is a tracheole? Okay, as you can see, as I told you before, eol means small. Okay, because you learned this in the first lesson, we have bronchus. Okay, you remember branches, bronchus, they're like 3 branch. And then small branches are called bronchiole. As I told you, eole means small. Bronchiole means small bronchus. They are the same. So tracheal means small trachea. Okay, you see, tracheal means small trachea. You have a big trachea over here, and it's split into a few small trachea. We call it tracheal. So this thing is pretty self-explanatory, very easy. Okay, and then you see what's the difference? They will straight away go from tracheal into their muscles or their body cells. That means there's no blood in insects. You see the difference? Okay, take note. Listen. We humans, we absorb oxygen into our lungs, right? And from our lungs, blood will come collect oxygen using their hemoglobin. Remember, there's a thing in your blood called hemoglobin. They will take your oxygen and deliver that oxygen to all your body. Like I told you last week, your red blood cell is like your Shopee delivery lorry. What is a spherical? I told you what spherical is the lubang. Same like your lubang hidung. Theirs is not called lubang hidung because insect got no hidung. Okay, anyway, so like I said, your red blood cell is like your Shopee delivery lorry. Have you bought something from Shopee before? Okay, the lorry, when you buy something, the lorry every morning, they will go to the headquarters. They will go to the main branch and collect your parcel. Okay, and then they will drive to your house and deliver it to you. Your red blood cell works the same way. Your red blood cell is the Shopee delivery lorry. They will go to your lungs and get the parcel, which is the oxygen, and carry to your body cell and give it to your body cell. You see, it is very complicated. Shopee is a very complicated system because Shopee works whole Malaysia. You name one part in Malaysia Shopee doesn't deliver to, unless you live in jungle lah. Then different story. Okay, but you see insects, they have no such thing. Insects have no such thing. They straight away deliver it to their cells. Okay, straight away deliver it to their cell. Okay, this is like what, this is like your kampong. Have you been in a kampong before? Last time when I was a kid, when I live in kampong, do you know how my grandma buys stuff? She doesn't even need to go out. She just need to call the what was that again? The provision shop, okay? The something like a 99 Speed Mart. Okay, they just call your grocery shop. She just need to call the grocery store, and then later they will deliver it to you. Okay, you need flour, you need bread, you need kaya, you need sugar, whatever. You just call them, they will deliver it to you. Do they need to use the Shopee delivery truck to come and collect and deliver it to you? No, because the kampong is very small. The kampong only is like 50 people living there. Is there a need for lorry? No, because it's a very small system. Same goes to insect. Do insects need the Shopee delivery truck, which is the red blood cell? No, they don't, because insects, they are very small, right? An insect is very, very many times smaller than you. So they don't need a very complicated system to deliver this part to here and there. No, they only need a very simple system because they are very small. Okay, you imagine this, a fly, lalat, how many times a lalat is smaller than you? A few thousand times, right? Okay, so why do they need such a big system? Same thing, same concept. A kampong is very small, so the grocery can just deliver it to you straight. We live in KL. We have thousands and thousands of jalan and taman, so they need a very complicated system to deliver your Shopee parcel to you. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, this is my best analogy that I can give. Okay, we are wasting petrol because human need delivery truck. Okay lah, the petrol is your heart law because your heart is pumping the lorry around. We will go into the next chapter. Okay, don't you worry. Okay, anyway, so this is your insect. So let's look at your insect system. Insects have a tracheal system as their respiratory system. Okay, it consists of tube that branches through the body of the insect. Air enters or leaves the trachea through the breathing pores known as spiracle. Now, the lubang is the spiracle. Okay, ours are called lubang hidung, our nostril. Theirs is called spiracle, which is the lubang at the side. So the opening and closing of spiracle are controlled by valves. What are valves? This is called injap. We will talk about this next chapter, okay, which allow air to leave and enter the body. All right, so trachea is divided into tiny branches called tracheal. Like I said, small trachea is tracheal. Tracheal made up the respiratory surface. All right, so trachea direct oxygen straight into cell. Look here, straight into cell. Terus ke dalam sel badan. Do they use hemoglobin? No. Do they use blood? No. Do they use any third party delivery guy? No. No, not needed. Okay, it's like you ordering a bowl of noodle from your downstairs mama, let's say. Do they need to call Shopee or call Grab Food? Hey, come deliver this noodle for me to the upstairs guy. The Grab fellow will say, why do I need to do that? No, they just walk up to your house and deliver it to you. Okay, so it's a very small delivery system, so very straightforward. So what characteristic do they have? Okay, they are thin, they are moist, they have large surface area. Take note, do not use this blood capillary characteristic here. Please don't say, okay, trachea system has blood capillary. Insects do not have blood. Okay, so if you whack, okay, so you might ask, sir, when I whack an insect dead, let's say, have you whacked cockroach before? Have you whacked any insect dead before? You can see some kind of fluid coming out, isn't it? Okay, that is not the blood. Okay, that is not the blood. That is the body fluid we call hemocola, I think. There's a word in biology. It's called hemo something. I also forgot already. Okay, I used to teach bio. Yes, the juice. Okay, the smelly juice. When you sometimes when you squeeze an ant dead, semut, when you squeeze it dead, your finger kind of smell a little bit bad because of the juice, isn't it? Okay, the body fluid. That's their body fluid. That's not the blood. Okay, they don't carry oxygen. Okay, very, very different from us. All right, so you see, frogs, they have blood. Fish, they have blood. Insects have no blood because frogs and fish, they are bigger. They are very complex, like us. Very complicated system, very complicated organism. Insects, they are too small. They don't need this system. Yes, they can have the system, but there's no need to. Why would you need it? It's like you, do you need the bones of an elephant? No, it's an overkill. Do you need a bone as big as an elephant? I mean, it's physically not possible, but you don't need to because it's overkill. Okay, no, you don't need to. So same goes to insect. They don't need any blood. It's just wasting. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's just these 4 characteristics which you have already learned in your alveolus. Like I said, these 4 characteristics you absolutely have to memorize. Okay, you already memorized this during Form 2, what? During your velus, you remember your small intestine? They are the same 4 characteristics. So basically, you are using it again in your alveolus, and you're using it today again in your 3 organisms, which is your frog, your fish, and your insect. Okay, understand? Very, very simple concept here. Okay, there's no other stuff for you to memorize. Sir, what is the glottis? What is the no, that's not your stuff. Okay. So even if you say, sir, I don't want to memorize all these spherical trachea and tracheal, can. That's not your concern. Next time when you go biology, Form 4, yes, you memorize all of it. Okay, you memorize all of it. Okay. In fact, this fish thing is called counter current flow. So what is that? You go biology, you suffer there. Okay, that's not my job already. Okay, how 数飞 works? 什么是数飞? What is that? Okay, anyway, so moving on, let's look at adaptation of respiratory system in different situations. Okay, you see, the spider, the organ, is it? Is it? I don't know, like the one I really don't know. You ask me, I also don't know. Okay, maybe I'll go and Google later. Okay, anyway, so you see, our respiratory system. Oh, really, Oh, okay. Oh, wow, I really don't know that. Like, you see, sometimes you ask me things, if I don't know, I will seriously tell you I don't know. Okay, I'm not like some of your school teacher. Macam ni kau pun tak tahu. No. I won't say this to you. If I really don't know, I will tell you don't know. Because why? Science is a very broad field. Okay, I've been learning science for, I don't know, 20 years. There are still things that I don't know. So if I don't know, I really tell you don't know. Like if you ask me, so what is this thing? I seriously tell you I don't know. Okay, anyway, so moving on. So our respiratory system, we go through different situations. Sometimes we are in different altitude, okay? We are doing sports, or sometimes we have diseases, which makes our respiratory system, which means our lungs, we go through challenges. Okay, so how do we deal with these challenges? Okay, let's look at one by one. Number 1, different altitude. You know what's altitude? Altitude is ketinggian lah. Okay, I think you learned this in If you still remember your Form 1, Chapter 9, the last chapter, you learn that, okay, when you are on a mountain, for example, you're on Everest, okay, this is very high altitude. Well, obviously, because you're at a very high ground, okay, whereas where you are on a flat ground, the altitude is very low. Okay, so different altitude. So here's the thing. When you are at a very high altitude, I'm sure you have learned this last year during the pressure chapter. Okay, during the pressure chapter, which is Form 2, Chapter 2, I think, there was a chapter called pressure, right? And you learn something called atmospheric pressure. Remember? Tekanan atmosfera. What is that? That's the pressure around you. Remember that? Remember that? When you suck on a straw, how can the water be pushed into the straw? Because when you suck the straw, the atmospheric pressure is higher than in the straw, so they will push the liquid in. Pressure always go from high to low. Remember? Remember? Don't tell me you forgot. We just learned that like few months ago. You don't tell me it's last year. It's last year, but it's few months ago. Okay, so that's the atmospheric pressure. So at high altitude, I'm just going to write ATM, atmospheric pressure, tekanan atmosfera. Your atmospheric pressure is going to be very low. Okay, so this is a problem. When your atmospheric pressure is very low, it will give you some kind of breathing difficulty. Because you see, during our inhalation, okay, let's look at our inhalation. You see, when we inhale air, air is pushed into our lungs using atmospheric pressure. Okay, that means the pressure outside, the atmosphere pressure, will push the air into our lungs. All right. So if you are on a flat ground, I'm sure you're living on a flat ground, right? Most of you live in, any of you not from Selangor or KL? Okay, I'm sure most of you are in Selangor or KL. Selangor or KL is like 50 meters above sea level, which is very, very low, very, very flat ground. So we have no atmospheric pressure problem. Our pressure around us is very high. So they can push air into our lungs, no problem. Okay, now, let's say you go and climb Mountain Everest. Okay, you go and climb Mountain Everest. You climb to the highest point, you're going to have breathing difficulty because the surrounding atmospheric pressure is very low. So less air is pushed into your lungs. You will feel like you are being suffocated. There's not enough air in your lungs. You feel sick. Okay, you feel nauseous. You feel like vomiting. You feel lightheaded. This is what we call altitude sickness. Okay, heard of that? I mentioned this in Form 1 also, okay, Form 1 and Form 2. Okay, so let's look at each of these points. So at high altitude, okay, pada altitude tinggi, on mountain tops, atmospheric pressure is low, okay, as I said. So breathing becomes difficult because oxygen molecules are far apart, very little oxygen up there. Therefore, for the same volume of air inhaled, the number of oxygen are less. So you will experience something called altitude sickness. Okay, so you feel lightheaded, okay, you feel dizzy. Basically, you don't feel good. Okay, it's like you lack air. Right? So the rate of, okay, so how does our body compensate for this? You know, it's compensate, right? To make up for this short end. So the rate of breathing and the heart rate will increase. So when you go to when you climb to high mountain, you will breathe faster and your heart will beat faster because they are trying to deliver more oxygen to you. Okay, maybe on flat ground, maybe at home, your breathing rate is around, I don't know, 60 times per minute. When you are up there in high mountain, maybe your breathing rate becomes 70 or 80 because you are breathing faster to try to get more oxygen. Your body will always try to compensate whatever challenges you throw at it. You get what I'm trying to say? You get what I'm trying to say? For example, okay, when we talk about hormones, okay, this is not something you learn yet. Okay, let's talk about hormone. When you are being chased by a dog, okay, when suddenly there's a dog behind you chasing you, your brain will tell you to run. Okay, and normally you don't run that fast, right? Normally you don't run that fast. But when you're being chased by a dog, you're really scared, your body will produce something like a super soldier serum to make you run faster. What is that serum? That thing is called adrenaline. Have you heard of adrenaline? That hormone is the hormone that makes you panic, make you kanchiong, make you run faster. That's why you see some people when they panic, suddenly they can run very fast because of the adrenaline. Okay, that's a hormone. You learn this next year. Okay, so your body will try to compensate for what you are lagging in. They will try to make you adapt to something. So your body is very amazing. So the possibility of having a heart attack is high on mountain. Yeah, you can say so. Okay, anyway, so this is why, guys, if one day you decide to go and climb Mount Everest, for example, okay, you run out of challenges to do, suddenly you just feel like climbing Mount Everest. Please do not just go and climb it like that. First of all, you need to be physically fit. Okay, you need to, okay, if you say, sir, I'm a marathon runner, I can run 20 kilometers without problem. I'm a triathlon athlete. I can cycle for 20 kilometers, I can swim for 20 kilometers, and then I can run for 20 kilometers. I can do a total of 60 kilometers. Yes, sure, go ahead. You are very physically fit. But you're a couch potato. You just sit there every day, scrolling on your phone. Ha ha ha, this TikTok is so funny. Okay, you sit there, you barely walk in 3 months. Please don't do it unless you want to die up there. Okay, you thought Mountain Everest is like a cakewalk up there. You thought it's just like walking on garden. Okay, it's a freaking mountain. Okay, you want to die up there? Maybe your wish is to die up there, okay? Because according to Nepalese and Indians, are many religion believer. They think that if you were to die on Mountain Everest, you're closer to God. So it's a good thing lah. Maybe that's your wish. I don't know. But here's the thing: don't simply go and challenge for this thing unless you're really dumb. Okay, so unless you're very, like I said, unless you're very physically fit, your lungs. Okay, when you are fit, your lungs and your heart, they work very well. Okay, yes, it's like it is definitely a challenge. If you're very fit, then okay, your lungs and heart can take it, no problem. Okay, if you ask Ronaldo, you know who Ronaldo is, right? If you ask Ronaldo go and climb Mount Everest, no problem for him. Hey, he's so damn freaking fit, every day he can run 10, 20 kilometers. Okay, any football players can. But you, let's say you are very physically unfit, listen to my advice, train yourself first. Every day you go and walk, and then progressively you get fitter and fitter. Then maybe you consider that challenge. Okay, it's like you don't lift weight. Suddenly you go into the gym. You say, you know what? I'm gonna lift 100 kg today. You try, no? You try. You're gonna snap yourself in half. Well, no shit. So obviously, don't do something stupid. Yes, your bone will break. Thank you. Okay, so high altitude, but what I'm trying to say here is your body will try to adapt to environment. When you are in a very high altitude, your heartbeat and your breathing rate will go faster to try to make you survive. Okay, so anyway, next, what happens when we go to the other end? Let's say now you go for scuba diving. Okay, you go for scuba diving. Just now you see, your altitude is very high, atmospheric pressure is very low. Now, when you are in deep sea, your altitude is very, very low, so your pressure is very high. Do you know this? Okay, you literally get crushed, yes. So when you are deep in the ocean, there's a lot of pressure pressing on you because you have the atmosphere pressing on you and you have the water pressing on you. So now there's another problem. You have very, very high pressure around you. Just now you have very low pressure around you. Now you have very high pressure around you. So this is why you might ask me, sir, which is better? Neither is good, okay? Because both of them are challenges. If you ask me, sir, which is harder, climbing Mountain Everest or dive 300 meters below sea level? I don't know. They are both equally hard, okay, I guess. Okay, anyway, so what happens down here? Just now your breathing increased up here, isn't it? Because you have lower pressure, isn't it? Now it's the other way around. Your breathing is difficult as the lungs find it difficult to expand during inhalation because there's something pressing on your lungs. So your body reduce heart rate to reduce the intake of oxygen. Your heart rate and your breathing will slow down because it's very hard to breathe. This is why you need oxygen tank. Okay, diving 300 meters is no tank. You still need a tank. Okay, guys, by the way, the deepest you can go by diving is only 100 meters. If you are an amateur diver, here's the thing, guys. If you want to go for scuba diving, okay, you need a license. You know this, right? This is not snorkeling. You don't just say, how hard can it be? I'm just gonna carry my oxygen tank. I'm just gonna jump into the water. Yeah, you go and try it. Okay, so you need a license. And if you're even if you have the license, you are still an amateur diver. An amateur diver, you will not go deeper than 100 meters. This is why your watch. Okay, I have a watch here. Okay, mine can go up to 300. Okay, because mine is a diving watch. Okay, so if this is my watch. Okay, it's a diving watch. Okay, it can go up to 300 meter. So can we ever go up to 300 meter if you're a very experienced diver? Okay, oxygen tank will explode. No, they will not explode. They will crumple because a lot of pressure around you, man. They will crumple your oxygen tank. That's why you need to go down. You need to dive slow. You cannot just dive fast because your oxygen tank will be crumpled. Okay, so that is world record without. Oh, really? They can go that deep. Okay. Anyway, so 300 meter is we don't really go that deep. Okay. As an amateur diver, you won't dive that deep unless you are down there to find something. Okay, you know our MH370 when they were trying to find the plane, they actually hire professional divers to try and dive down there to look for the black box. Only professional divers will go that deep. If you're just an amateur diver, what for you want to go that deep? What's the point? Okay, unless you're trying to challenge yourself, unless you have the death wish, like I said, it's really dangerous down there. So there's no point doing it. All right, I don't know, Sky, scuba diving is not really my thing. Okay, I have a dive watch. Okay, but that's just because I love collecting watch. That's all. Okay, so my watch can go up to 300, but if you buy like a Rolex, okay, Rolex you know Rolexes, right? Okay, they are one of the most expensive watch in the world. If you buy like a Rolex Deep Sea, there's a model called Deep Sea. Okay, if your dad is a very experienced watch collector, you go and ask him. Okay, there's a Rolex called Deep Sea. Okay, Sea Dweller. That thing can go up to 1,000 meter, but that's not really possible for us to dive that deep because there's no need to. Okay, it's pitch black down there. Why would you go there? Okay, so yours is 200. Yeah, exactly. So your watch, I don't care whether it's your Casio or whatever, it will most likely be 100 to 300, roughly around that range, because that's the range we can go to. Okay, so if you're interested in scuba diving, maybe you can go and get a license next time. All right, so this is altitude. So the first challenge is altitude. Like I said, when you are at high altitude, your heart rate will increase, okay, to compensate. And when you are very low altitude, deep in the sea, your breathing rate and your heart rate will reduce to try and compensate. All right, so let's look at another challenge. Let's look at sports and lifestyle. Okay, now when you are doing sports, when you are running, obviously your breathing rate and your heart rate is going to increase, isn't it? Let's say now I ask you to sprint, okay, to sprint 100 meter. I don't care. When you are doing exercise, whatever, I'm not talking about just walking nicely. I'm talking about vigorous exercise. Let's say you play a game of badminton. For sure, you will gasp. You will breathe really heavily. Have you seen all those Olympic athletes? Have you seen how they breathe? Okay, they breathe very heavily because they're trying to get more oxygen in. So during vigorous activity, okay, the rate of cellular respiration increase. Okay, what is your body doing now? All your muscles, they are trying to produce more energy. For example, you are Usain Bolt. I mean, imagine lah. Okay, that fella is freaking crazy. Okay, you know who Usain Bolt is, right? The fastest man on earth. Okay, he's freaking crazy. 9.57 second world record in 100 meter. Okay, scientists used to say that any time below 10 seconds is pretty much impossible. Well, not for him. Okay, he's a freaking beast. Okay, he ran 100 meter in 9.57 seconds. Okay, world record. Nobody has ever got close to him. Okay, but why do dogs breathe heavily? That's because maybe they're hot. Okay, one of the reasons they're trying to sweat. Okay, anyway, so when Usain Bolt is running, his leg muscles, they're trying very hard to produce more energy for him to run, right? So how do they produce the energy? They do cellular respiration. Remember what is this? You learned this in Form 1. Your muscles will take glucose and oxygen, convert them to carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Energy is what you need, okay, to support demand for more energy. So the breathing rate increase, okay, that's why you gasp, okay, to speed up the exchange of gas, and your heart rate also increase, which we'll learn next chapter. So why does your heart rate increase? Okay, here's the thing. Your heart rate and your breathing rate, they kind of work together. When you breathe heavily, your heart will also pump heavier. They work together. Okay, so why pump faster? Because your heart needs to flow blood, flow more blood, okay, to speed up the transport of more oxygen and glucose to body tissue to be oxidized and produce energy. Carbon dioxide produced during cellular respiration is transported faster to the lungs. Your blood is going faster to carry more oxygen to your cells and to take away more carbon dioxide away from you. you are doing exchange faster than usual because you are doing exercise. Okay, yeah, maybe that's why they name him Bo. Okay, he's like born to run. Do you know all Jamaicans are born to run? Next time, have you seen the Olympic last year? Have you seen the Olympic last year? You look at whatever running lah, woman or man, 100 meter, 200 meter, 500 meter, 1,500 meter, the front three is always Jamaican. Okay, because their genes are just born to run. You cannot cheat this. You might say, sir, so unfair. Why are they so good at running? This is genetic. This is genetic. Why do you think Asians are good in ping pong? You know, table tennis, it's always the Chinese who got the first three. You know why? Because ping pong will favor smaller size athlete. Chinese, we are smaller size than our Mat Salleh counterpart. Okay, you look at Kuai Lo, Mat Salleh, they are bigger size than us. Asians, we are very small. So small makes you very agile. So you can play table tennis better. But when it comes to gymnastics, you're not as good as them because they're freaking big size. They can just swing around, they have more muscle than you. Okay, so each has their advantage. You look at weightlifting, it's always Western. Okay, Western or Middle Eastern. Okay, they are just beasts. You just cannot fight with them. Okay, they inject their cell into you. Maybe next time there's a technology like that. Okay, African is born to run. Yeah, they just have the gene. Okay, you cannot blame this. All right, so anyway, respiratory system of an athletic person. Okay, let's say you are an athletic person. For example, you're a triathlon. Hey, triathlon, have you seen a cyclist? Have you seen a cyclist before? Do you know how good their stamina is? A cyclist, they're freaking crazy. Okay, have you heard of a competition called Tour de France? Okay, Tour de France. This is the most prestigious cycling competition. This is like F1. This is like F1. When you watch all kinds of motorsport, F1 is the top. Okay, everyone just watches F1. When you watch cycling, Tour de France is the best. Do you know how good they are? Okay, because I think last 2 years, there was this Tour de France in front of my house. Okay, they actually closed off all the road. The bike actually passed by in front of my house. And I was curious, so I go and watch the Facebook Live. You know how long they cycle? They cycle 60 kilometers. Okay, from Ampang, they cycle all the way up Genting. Yes, you heard that right, up Genting. Up Genting, even you driving there, your car feels like, oh my God, this is so heavy. They have to cycle up there. That's how good they are. If I'm not mistaken, 2 to 3 hours. Can you cycle for 2 to 3 hours? Okay, not just cycle around your park. Hey, this is easy. It's like full on cycle. You're going. It's like your lungs is going to pop out of your chest for 2 to 3 hours. That's 1 day. Okay, the whole Tour de France in Malaysia is 5 days. You have to cycle like that for 5 days. Okay, I tell you by day 1 finish, your leg is going to break. Okay, so can you imagine how crazy they are? Their lungs it's like 3 of your lung. Okay, that's how good they are. Yes, intense like that, exactly. So what makes you an athletic person? If you are very athletic, what makes you different from other people? Your lung capacity is higher. Your lung can contain more air. Okay, so the volume of inhaled air and exhaled air is higher. You can put more air into your lungs, and your intercostal muscle and your diaphragm are much stronger. As I said, your chest, your lungs has 2 muscles, which is the intercostal muscle and the diaphragm. As you know, the more you work your muscle, the stronger they become, right? When you curl more, you are going to have large arm muscle, right? Same thing. The more you run, the stronger your chest, your lung muscle is going to be. So your intercostal muscle and your diaphragm, they're very strong. And the number of size of blood capillaries in the lung increase. So you have more blood capillaries in your lungs. And of course, alveolus increase. Not only that, your heart is also stronger. Okay, this is why, guys, when you exercise, you increase your lifespan. You want to live up to 80 or 90, you exercise every day. Why? Because as you work your lungs and your heart, you make your muscles stronger. Stronger muscle lasts longer. You get what I'm trying to say? If your heart muscle is so damn freaking strong because you exercise like 1 hour every day, well, you're going to live a very long life. You're going to live up to 80 or 90, no problem, because your heart is so strong. On the other end, if you're just a couch potato, you're like, what's the point? I hate exercise. I'm just going to sit around. Okay, yes, you don't exercise your heart is going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. Maybe by 50 or 60, you will die. You'll get heart attack already. So if you want to live a healthy and long life, go and exercise. Okay, how Mate live that long? Okay, Mate can live that long maybe because one thing he exercise, he does exercise, and number two is also because of genetic. If your gene, your past few generations they can live up to a very long life then most likely you will. Okay, it's also part of a genetic thing. Okay, COVID killing people. Hey, you see, when your lungs are stronger, COVID doesn't affect you much. Have you seen football players kena COVID? Hey, Ronaldo kena COVID 2 years ago. 1 week later, he's running like usual already, scoring goals as usual. I think 2 years ago, he was at Juventus. Okay, you know lah, he's a scoring machine lah. Every match, averagely he can score one. Okay, so he got COVID. Okay, and you thought, oh, he's gonna suffer his performance. No, 1 week later, he's back to running, he's back to scoring because his lungs are so damn strong. COVID is like nothing to him. Okay, he came United and go. Please don't mention that. Okay, United is like my boyhood club, so it hurts me to say this. Okay, anyway, okay, let's not talk about sad stuff. Okay, so he bought, yeah, exactly. He has the money, he has the money, he's so damn freaking rich. Okay, anyway, so let's look at diseases, shall we? Okay, so what happens when you have some kind of breathing diseases? I'm not talking about COVID, guys. COVID is an infection. Okay, so let's talk about some more serious diseases. Number one is called anemia. Okay, any of you heard of what is anemia? Okay, anemia, like I think I told you this last week before. Anemia is when your body cannot produce normal red blood cell. Okay, that means your hemoglobin, something is wrong with it. I'm sure you know what is hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin is your Shopee delivery lorry lah. They will carry oxygen to you. So something is wrong with that. So you can say that your stamina is directly linked to this fella, your hemoglobin. So the more hemoglobin you have, the better your stamina is going to be. Right? Okay, so that's why when you exercise, okay, here's the thing, if you're a couch potato, you feel bad about yourself, sir, I suck, I cannot exercise. Don't worry. You start exercising today. Every day, go out and walk for half an hour, and then you slowly increase 5 minutes every week. In no time, your stamina will be so good, okay, that, you can just walk for very long, because you see, your body will adapt by producing more red blood cell. Yes, irony food. Yes, exactly. When you eat more iron, you also produce more red blood cell, because iron, you use iron to produce hemoglobin, right? You learn this in Form 2. Okay, so when you have anemia, okay, not everybody has this. Okay, go shopping, trace them. Yeah, can also, but it also makes your wallet thinner lah. So that's not a very good investment. Just go out and walk lah. That's free. Okay, so anyway, hey, you don't tell me you have no time. This is an excuse. Okay. I work 6 days per week. I'm a very busy person. I still have time to go to the gym 2 hours every day. For 6 days, I exercise 6 days per week, 2 hours every session, because I value my health a lot. Okay, so don't find excuse, just go and walk lah. Okay, it's free. You just need a pair of shoes. Okay, anyway, so let's look at anemia. Anemia is a condition whereby the number of red blood cell or hemoglobin is less than a normal in person. Okay, so if how do you know your red blood cell is less? People go and do blood test lah. If your blood test has lower hemoglobin, that means most likely you have anemia. Okay, it's about drive, it's about power. Wow, it's so motivating, Okay, it's fit. He run a treadmill. Yeah, exactly. Same goes to me lah. Because of this COVID, I cannot go outside and run, right? I just bought a treadmill. Yeah, it's very expensive at first. Okay, wow, so treadmill very expensive. But if you divide it in a long term, it's okay. Okay, it's something that makes you healthy. You don't put a price. You see, people are very funny one. Okay, people are very funny one. When you tell them, would you spend 200 something to buy protein powder? Okay, protein powder is something healthy. They will say, no, so expensive, 200 something, so expensive, but you can drink it for 2 months. Okay, but when it comes to cigarette, when it comes to fast food, when it comes to fried stuff, oh, this is so cheap. McDonald's, $10 per meal, very cheap. Dude, what's with the logic? Okay, exactly. You see, some of my friends are very funny one. You tell them, hey, let's go to the gym 2 hours, don't want lah, very waste time there. But queuing up to buy sneakers for 3 hours, wow, Nike got new Jordan 1 coming up, wow, queue 4 hours. He's okay. Logic mana bang? Logic tu mana? So you see, this is about priority. If you really want something done, you will do it. Okay, if you really don't want something, you will find all kinds of excuses to it. Right. Okay, anyway, so wrong emphasis here exactly. Okay. Anyway, so what happens when you have anemia? You will get tired very easily because you don't have red blood cell. So you cannot carry oxygen, so you get tired. So you get constant headache, cold hands and feet, as well as pale skin and feeling weak. Okay, people with anemia, they cannot really exercise hard. So the lack of red blood cell or hemoglobin causes less oxygen to be transported. You have less oxygen in your body. So what do? How does your body adapt to this condition? Your cardiac output is higher. That means your heart will pump faster. Because you lack oxygen, it's just like up here when you are at a high mountain here, your heart will pump faster and your blood velocity will be higher. That means your heart pressure, your blood pressure will also be higher. Your breathing rate will also be higher. So this is how doctors know you have anemia. When you are resting, your breathing rate is higher than normal. Your heart rate is higher than normal. That means something is wrong with your blood. Okay, because your body is trying to compensate for something lagging. You know, it's compensate. Compensate is to make up for something. Let's say a guy is really short. Okay, a guy is really short. He will compensate by, because no girls look at him, so he will compensate by doing all stupid stuff to attract girls' attention. That's the meaning of compensate. Okay, so if your blood has not enough oxygen, your heart rate and breathing rate will increase by compensating for the lagging of the blood. Okay, by wearing high heels, that's just gay. Okay, anyway, so next you have sickle cell disease. Okay, what is this? This is also called sickle cell anemia. This is a more serious version of anemia. In BM, it's called anemia cell subit. Okay, what is this? People with this condition, they have this genetic that their red blood cell kind of look like this. Okay, that's why they have the name subit sickle You know what's a sickle? Sickle is the, sabit, bulan sabit merah. Sabit is the crescent in our Malaysia flag. So it looks like this. Okay, so rather than being round, your red blood cell kind of looks like this. Okay, so this is also anemia. So same thing So, but this thing is hereditary. Okay, that means berwarisan. If your dad has it or your mom has it, chances are you have it too. All right, so the red blood cell are sickle shape. Okay, berbentuk sabit. Okay, it's not the biconcave shape. What is biconcave? We will learn this next chapter when we learn about the blood. Okay. By the way, biconcave means it looks like this. Your red blood cell from the sideways, it looks like this. Biconcave means there's two concave. Okay, dui jekung. Okay, berbentuk dui jekung. Okay, so this sickle-like shape reduces the surface area of the red blood cell. This means less oxygen is transported to the cell. So if your red blood cell looks like this, you get very tired. Okay, so what do? You have to go for blood transfusion. If it is very serious, you have to go for blood transfusion. Okay, still can carry oxygen. It depends how serious you are. It depends how serious your sickle cell anemia is. If your sickle cell anemia is not that serious, maybe you can still live by. Okay, for example, there's another anemia called thalassemia. Thalassemia is when you have a hole in your red blood cell. It's also very serious. My mom has it, but my mom's thalassemia is quite mild. Okay, that means it only affects her when she do hard exercise. When she runs really hard on a treadmill, her face will get very red. Maybe like that lor. Okay, that's all. It's not so serious that she needs blood transfusion. If your sickle cell is very serious, you need to go for blood transfusion. You need to go hospital. They need to give you healthy blood every 3 months. Why every 3 months? Because you change. Do you know you change your red blood cell every 3 months? Your body will get rid of old red blood cell, and your bone marrow will make new red blood cell every 3 months. Okay, this is why they ask you to go and donate blood because 3 months later, you're still going to throw your blood away. Might as well you donate it. Okay, this is another story to tell. Okay, this is for next chapter. Okay, so since we have 4 more minutes, let me tell a little bit story about performance enhancing drug. Okay, in short, we call it PED. Okay, do you know there are certain, I think I told this last chapter, do you know there are certain drugs that can make your body produce more red blood cell? Okay, so yes, it gets rid of it through your P. Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about performance enhancing drug. Okay, so what is performance enhancing drug? As the name says, they are drugs that make you perform better in sports. Okay, basically cheating lah. Okay, so for example, for cyclists, okay, if you're a cyclist, okay. Oh my God, why is someone coming in now? Okay, hang on. Why is someone joining? Yes, Rebecca, are you okay? Why are you so late? Okay, I'll send you the video later. You get it from me. Okay, anyway, so let's talk about this PED, performance enhancing drug. Okay, if you're a cyclist, a cyclist's favorite PED will be EPO. What is EPO? EPO is a drug that when you take it, you're gonna increase your red blood cell. When you increase your red blood cell, you are gonna carry more oxygen to your body, isn't it? That makes your stamina much better than the other person. That's cheating. Basically, that's cheating. You can cycle longer and faster. Okay, you remember the wrong that. It's okay. You WhatsApp me later. I'll send you the link. Okay, so this is why they do urine test. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, this is why they do urine test. Okay, so if you won a certain contest, okay, let's say in Olympic, you won a medal, they will test your urine for any PED. If you are caught with any PED in your urine, oh, you are gone, you are done. Okay, like seriously. Okay, this is why we have a body called WADA. You can go and search for it. Okay, it stands for World Anti-Doping Agency. Okay, WADA is the association that controls what stuff can be used in sports and what not. Okay, yeah, exactly. The inject blood one is also, but the one very hard to catch. Okay, so WADA every year they will publish a list what you can use and what you can't use. Okay, so what you can use during exercise, during sports, you can use coffee. Do you know coffee was banned? Few years ago, WADA, it was so ridiculous, they used to ban caffeine. That means if you go to run 100 meter, okay, 100 meter sprint, yes, you won gold medal, and then they test your urine. Hey, sir, sorry, we found caffeine in your urine, you are disqualified. You're like, what? I can't even drink coffee now? Yes, exactly. Few years ago, it was like that, and then they realized it was really stupid, so they removed it from the doping list. Yes, cannot drink coffee. You know Lee Chong Wei kena this before? You know Lee Chong Wei kena this before? If you still remember, a few years back when he was still active, when he was still playing badminton, there was a year he was caught with PED. Okay, it's not that he purposely want to use it. He was using something called dexamethasone. Okay, I'm very familiar with this drug because I used to take it because of my skin condition. This is a corticosteroid. What is a corticosteroid? It's a drug that reduces swelling. Okay, so there was one year Lee Chong Wei injured his shoulder. He needs to reduce the swelling, so he used this drug. And he didn't know that this thing was banned because dexamethasone has a side effect of being a stimulant. It makes you excited. Dexamethasone has a side effect that makes you excited. So WADA actually banned this thing from exercise, but he was caught with it. Okay, he was in all kinds of trouble. He need to hire a lawyer to go to WADA's court. Okay, there's a courtroom. You need to explain yourself. Why is this thing in your blood? Why is this thing in your urine? Okay, what defense do you have? Why are you using this thing? Are you sure you're not using this for performance gain? You need to prove yourself. Okay, so that's why this WADA is constantly catching people. Okay, they are trying to catch cheaters. This is why you see, if you watch last year's Olympic, have you realized that Russia was not in? Russia was not in, but Russia was they took part using another name called ROC, Russia Olympic Committee. Okay, I was like so weird. Why is Russia using another name? Because Russia was banned. Russia was caught. Many of them were caught with PEDs few years ago. Do you know Russians are very famous for cheating? Russians are very famous for cheating Olympics. Okay, many years they are found to cheat Olympic because they are and war. Because here's the thing, Russia is a very corrupted country. Okay, they don't care about anything but national pride. National pride is their leader has this stupid ego lah. Okay, they just want their country to be proud, so they don't care whether their athlete cheat. Okay, this is why they go to war, because they want pride. Okay, toxic pride. Okay, so bloody stupid, I tell you. Okay, so this is why they cheated lah. Okay, basically, let me tell you this lah. Don't be caught with any PEDs because if you are caught, usually you'll be banned for life. Okay, usually you'll be banned for life. So, I mean, you can cheat and get away with it maybe once or twice, but hey, eventually you'll be caught as well. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, anyway. So you know what? Today I'm gonna stop here. Next week we shall go into our exercise. Sorry, I couldn't go into any exercise today. I have too many grandfather story to tell. Okay, so I hope this is interesting for you. I hope this is not too boring for you. Okay, I cannot shut up about exercises lah. I'm an exercise nut. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna stop here today. So I wish you have a happy Thursday. I shall see you the same time next week. Next week is physical. By the way, you can go back to your physical class already if you choose to go back to physical. All right, if not, I will see you the same time this week. Sorry, next week. Okay, so do take care of yourself. Good night, everyone. Okay, see you next week and bye-bye.